Welcome to the Unwritten PhD. I'm Dr. Kshitij Tiwari, and this podcast is a guide to the messy, human side of a doctoral degree that no one ever puts in a textbook. I want to talk about the most dangerous word in the graduate school. It's not fail, it's not quit, it's the word student. When we introduce ourselves, we say, I am a PhD student. University admin calls us students. Our loans classify us as students. But if you act like a student, you will fail. Let's break down what a student is. A student is a consumer of knowledge. A student waits for a syllabus. A student does assignments set by a teacher. A student asks for permission. A student receives a grade to know if they did well. Now, look at your PhD. Is there a syllabus? No. You have to define your own project scope. Are there strict assignments? No. You have to decide what experiments or chapters to write next. Is there a teacher giving you grades? No. Your supervisor is a mentor, a colleague, maybe a boss, but they are not your teacher. The fundamental friction, the source of 90% of the anxiety you feel, is the gap between your expectations as a student and the reality of being a researcher. A researcher is a producer of knowledge. A researcher sets the agenda. A researcher proposes solutions. A researcher asks for forgiveness, not permission. This shift logically makes sense, but emotionally, it is terrifying. Because if you aren't a student, who are you? If you don't get an A, how do you know you are good? Most scholars struggle with this in the early years. I did too. I would go into meetings with my advisor with a notebook, pen poised, waiting for instructions. What should I do next? I asked. And he'd look at me frustrated and say, I don't know. It's your data. You tell me. I left those meetings feeling unsupported and abandoned. I thought he was a bad advisor. But looking back, I realized he was treating me like a researcher. I was demanding to be treated like a student instead. Here is the unwritten rule for today: ownership. From this moment on, I want you to banish the S word from your mindset. You are a junior colleague, you are a project manager, you are a researcher. What does this look like in practice though? It changes how you speak. Instead of asking, is this okay? You say, I have decided to take this approach because of X and Y. Unless you see a major flaw, I am proceeding on Monday. Do you feel the difference? The first one transfers the burden of thinking to your boss. It's safe, it's passive. The second one demonstrates leadership. It's risky, it's active. This podcast is going to be filled with these kinds of shifts. We are going to move you from passive, reactive to active and strategic. Because here is the secret. Your committee doesn't give you a PhD because you completed the assignments. They give you a PhD when they see you as a peer. And peers don't ask for permission to think. So, for this week, I have a challenge for you. Catch yourself every time you act like a student. Every time you wait for an email. Every time you hesitate to send a draft because it's not perfect yet. Remind yourself, I am a researcher. Failure is just data. Action is better than waiting. This is the journey we are on. If you are a current or aspiring PhD scholar or a beginner in the world of robotics, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow this podcast diligently. You won't want to miss what we have in store for you. This has been the Unwritten PhD. See you in another episode.